Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Ludfi Djajanto. I'm a lecturer at State Politeknik Malang, Indonesia. In the second annual Management, Business and Economic Conference, or second AMBEC 2020, I would like to deliver my presentation online. It is due to pandemic COVID-19 globally. Now, let's move on my presentation. The title of my presentation is Integrated Blending Learning Model Design with Problem-Based Learning and Practice Rehearsal Paths to Increase Motivation and Learning Outcomes in Marketing Management course. In this presentation, I would like to talk about the first is introduction, the second is objective, the third is research method, and the fourth is result, and finally is conclusion. Firstly, let me start with introduction. To give my brief introduction, I would like to inform to you that the development of technology and science related to the 4.0 industrial revolution is shown by the use of technology and the internet in almost all fields, including education. The use of technology in learning is currently very necessary, as expressed by Wasita in 2008. That technologies such as gadgets, smartphone, and Android can be used as a media that can make it easier for students to learn independently in mastering a concept. One of the reasons why this research was conducted is because currently, especially in the learning of marketing management at State Politeknik of Malang, there are still many lecturers who use the conventional learning method so that it can be categorized as teacher-centered learning. This causes students to tend to be less active, more listening, and less motivated to learn. The novelty of the research is to design an integrated blended learning model with problem-based learning and practice rehearsal paths. And as we see, blended learning itself is a new concept in learning where the material delivery can be done in class and online, while the learning model uses its combine between problem-based learning method and the practice rehearsal method. Secondly, let's move on research objective. My research objective are the first, to change the learning method from teacher-centered learning to student-centered learning. And the second, to construct or design a new learning model with blended learning, namely combining a learning using Moodle learning management system, which is integrated with problem-based learning and practice rehearsal paths by applying a combination of several learning methods adapted to the topic of discussion so that the student can be active, think critically, and to be able to solve cases in the world of work. Thirdly, research method. Types of this research are development or design of blended learning model and classroom action research. The objective of the research is students in the Department of Accounting, State Politeknik Malang, who take marketing management courses with a total of 182 students taken. The data collected by using questionnaire and conducted pre-test and post-test. And the data analysis technique used is the t-test and univariate analysis of variance with the use of SPSS software. Fourthly, let me talk about the result of my research. Testing using analysis with the pair t-test with the help of the SPSS program expressed in the table. From this table, it can be seen that 91 students from the experimental class or with blended learning have an average value of learning outcome at pre-test of 71.45, while the average value of learning outcome at post-test was 78.54. The paired sample test output table shows that the average difference in value is 7.088, meaning that the difference in the average value of learning outcomes at the pre-test compared with to the post-test is 7.088 or greater at post-test rather than pre-test. Then, let me continue to talk about research hypothesis testing. There are three hypotheses tested in this study. The research hypothesis testing is carried out to prove statistically whether the hypothesis proposed in this study can be accepted or rejected. The hypothesis testing is done by analyzing the data on the result of understanding marketing management costs. The result of the calculation univariate analysis variance with the help of the SPSS program at a significant value of 0.05. Let's move to the hypothesis testing 1. Based on the result of this calculation in the test of between subject effect, it is known that the learning strategy obtained F count equal with 12.667 with significant value of 0.00 with below of 0.05 alpha. Thus meaning that there is a significant difference in the learning outcomes of marketing management course between group of students who learn to use blended learning strategies and group of students using conventional learning strategy. In general, the learning outcomes of marketing management course of students who learn with blended learning strategy are better than the group of students with conventional learning strategy. Furthermore, for the hypothesis testing 2 shows that the calculate of F-score for learning outcomes of marketing management course based on learning motivation is 61.703 with a significant value of 0.00 because P of significance of 0.00 is smaller than alpha 0.05, so that it can be concluded that there is significant difference in learning outcomes between group of students who have high learning motivation and students who have low learning motivation. Then for the hypothesis 3, so that F count equal with 4.679 with a significant value of 0.032, which is below alpha value of 0.05. This means that there is an influence of the interaction between blended learning strategies and conventional learning strategy with high and low learning motivation on student marketing management learning. Finally, for the conclusion, based on the result of the analysis and testing of research hypothesis, the study can be concluded that the first, there is a significant difference in the learning outcomes of marketing management course between group of students who learn using blended learning strategies and group of students using conventional learning strategy. And the second, there is a significant difference in learning outcomes between group of students who have a high learning motivation and the students who have low learning motivation. And the third, there is an interaction effect between the blended learning strategy and conventional learning strategy with high and low learning motivation on student marketing management learning outcomes. That's all of my presentation. I would like to say thank you very much for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.